but bro, did you see that Wicked Witch film? You know, where she's all green.
Yeah, mate, I did. I think it's called like Sick or something. You know, it's called Sick the musical or something. I don't really know, mate. But yeah, I did see it and I thought it was interesting and it had music in it as well.
Yeah.
What absolute drivel. That's like 30 seconds that no one will find funny apart from us. That's brilliant. Keep it in.
That's so niche, yeah. Let's address that in the opening. Right.
I also started doing that fucking Peter Serafinovich, like, estate agent bloke. Like, it's not the voice we were doing.
Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Movie On Up with your hosts it's me, Alfie Walker.
And it's me, Adam Barlow.
Bok.
Bark.
This is, contrary to that intro, we are not talking about Wicked. We have done that. That was on episode 45, a little bit earlier this week. Ooh, what a treat for you. What are we talking about today? We are talking about a couple of different things. Adam has managed to get out and see both Moana 2. You saw that yesterday?
Yep.
And you also caught Conclave. That was probably about a week ago now. I was planning on seeing Conclave, but we had a leak, so I didn't end up going. So Adam's reading that on his own. But because I was home, I did manage to catch Star Wars Skeleton Crew, the new Disney Plus show, and yeah, I've got some opinions on that. So I think that's the three things we're going to cover this week. How are you, Adam? I know we've been speaking for the past 2 hours recording the last episode, but how are you?
Alfie, I've mopped up the water that I spilt all over my room, so that's nice. But in a wider, more general sense, I'm happy, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm breathing, you know, that's
Breathing?
Something. No, breathing.
Oh, God, is it grieving? Oh my God, who's died?
I'm also grieving, though. I've got a funeral on Friday, but I don't want to bring down the tone. It's fine, it'll be better because Moving Up comes out on Friday, so, you know.
Yeah, so right. Could play it at the funeral. Cheer everyone up. Don't do that.
Yeah, everyone would love that.
Especially with the state of the cold open on this episode.
Yeah. Who let the hoodlum in at the back?
Who are those reprobates?
Discussing the current state of cinema. What's going on? Kids today.
Me and Adam saw a podcast, and it was, I'd say our cold open there today was better than their actual podcast. That's how bad it was. So if you're listening, Buzz News.
Yeah. You know who you are. I don't want to take shots at my own university, but
piss poor.
Where's the quality control is all I can say.
Go look on that Instagram.
Ironic. Go on, get a sentence out. Is all I can know. Turned Canadian.
What are we going to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Moana, Skeleton Crew, or Conclave?
Shall we do... Let's go chronologically. Shall we go with Conclave first? Let's go to the Conclave.
Phenomenal. Wow.
So, Alfie, Conclave is a film that stars everyone's favourite British actor, Ray Fiennes. Well, yes, but actually no, but yes, Ray Fiennes, yes. You know the Peter Serafinovich impression that he does of him? He's like, oh, you've got a girlfriend, have you? Oh no, you have. Oh, you have. Oh, yes. Oh, no, well, actually, no, but yes, no. Like that. He's a bit like that in this film, but Only mildly.
Imagine that, but tone it down a degree.
Yeah. It's a very serious film. So I mean, if you watch the trailer, you'll realise he's not off camera. Rafe Fiennes. He's actually acting, which is the point of cinema, I suppose, in some regards.
In some regard, yeah, bro. Yeah, I guess that is what you could call acting.
Yeah. I guess that is some acting in some films that I've seen in the past. So Rafe Fiennes
Have you
is
heard
playing.
there's a shortage of Guinness?
Have you heard the budget was released? But Rafe Fiennes plays Thomas Cardinal
The Tank
Lawrence.
Engine.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Thomas the Tank Engine. Yes, that's right. He plays Cardinal Lawrence, who is tasked with one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, participating in the selection of the new Pope. So he gets surrounded by powerful religious leaders in the halls of the Vatican. He soon uncovers a trail of deep secrets that could shake the very foundation of the Roman Catholic Church. Thank you, Google, for that synopsis. But it's directed by Edward Berger, who is a name that might be familiar to you because he also directed the 2022 remake of All Quiet on the Western Front. I think I'm right.
Yes,
in
he
saying
did.
that.
Yes.
That's on Netflix. Did you ever see that film?
I did catch it. I think maybe if 1917 hadn't come out, it would have had a bigger impact on me. But because I'd seen something a little bit similar, I wasn't as blown away by it. But by all means, it got Oscar noms and it is very good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You're right. It was the same year as Everything Everywhere All at Once, wasn't it? So that obviously won. But All Quiet on the Western Front, let's see, it definitely won some awards, didn't it, at the Oscars? Let's double check that quick. A remake of the 1930 film, but an adaptation of the book that preceded that. Yeah, so the Academy Awards, my God, it swept the floor. So it won Best International Feature Film, Best Original Score, Best Production Design, and Best Cinematography.
Wow, I didn't realise it won that much.
That's wild. And it was nominated for 5 others as well. So yeah, it was a real heavyweight in that awards season a couple of years ago. I remember at the time being a bit taken aback by quite how much praise it was getting, because I didn't think it was crazy good. I think, as you said, 1917, which I think is divisive among some people, but I'm a big fan of it. I think the gimmick of it being an artificial one long take really works for me, and I think the cast is stacked in that film, and it's got great atmosphere. I keep going to say We Live in Time. It's not. It's All Quiet on the Western Front. I always thought it was a bit by the numbers, very well directed, and I think Edward Berger does show a lot of promise within this film, even though the actual finished piece I think is not quite as good as some people found it to be, if that makes sense. So anyway, this is, I think, the next film he's done after that, Conclave, and distributed by Focus Features, cinematography by Stéphane Fontaine, who I presume also did All Quiet on the Western Front. I could be wrong in saying that. I don't think I'm right there, but it's definitely got the same person doing the score. So it's Volker Bertelmann, I believe is his name. So yeah, that's the kind of what we're dealing with here. Oh, by the way, though, this I just going through Wikipedia, clicking on links now. I found out he also did the soundtrack for The Crow. So let's move swiftly on. So as you can tell, you've got a fairly decent crew behind the scenes. Rafe Fiennes front and centre. Stanley Tucci, though, also thrown in the mix. John Lithgow, who I know from being in the last Mission Impossible film that came out. And
Lord Farquaad as well.
Is that John Lithgow? Wow.
I don't think that's a lie. Let me check that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Damn. It is John Lithgow that's in Mission Impossible, isn't it? Am I misremembering that? Doesn't he play the sort of head of the FBI or something? He plays one of the higher ups. I could be wrong, actually. I think it might be someone else. He's in Interstellar, though.
Weirdly, I feel like he's been in more than what's on his Google page.
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off. I'm sure, isn't he the guy in Dead Reckoning? I'm sure he is. In like the meeting at the start, and he's all like, Oh no, that's Carrie.
Yeah, with the masks.
No, it's Carrie Elwes or Eels.
Oh, Carrie Elwes from Saw. Yeah.
Oh. Do they look similar, or am I going mental?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, back to Conclave.
Moving on.
How did I get that mixed up? God knows. Conclave. I overall had a very good time with Conclave. Do you know what it feels like? It's like you've gone to a high-end steakhouse and you're like, what would you recommend? How would you recommend I have it cooked? And they serve you up the best thing they can, from a very prestigious restaurant. I'm thinking the Ivy that has just arrived in Bournemouth, sitting down there in a full suit. You're ready, you're peckish. And you get served Conclave by this team of, respected actors and filmmakers. And you're like, yeah, this is as good as it should be. Maybe a little bit... I don't know if Conclave's pretentious. I think that's unfair to say. But it's very much... it hinges entirely on its script and on the acting, and it's very breathy. You've got a lot of Ralph Fiennes pacing corridors and going like...
You know what I'm picturing
Just sort
of from your description is you've ordered this big juicy steak, right, in a nice posh restaurant, and it comes out with 9 chips, and you're like, oh, I could have done with an actual portion of chips, not just 9. That's what I'm getting from this. It leaves it's very nice, but we could have done with something a little bit more. It's missing 1 or 2 things.
Yes, you're right. I think that's entirely it. I don't like using these metaphors to describe films because I think it's silly, but yeah, it kind of lends itself to this film. Stanley Tucci, excellent, funny, just brings this gravitas to it, as does Ralph Fiennes, of course he does. John Lithgow, brilliant. He's not the guy from Mission Impossible, but I thought he was, and I spent the whole film thinking that. Sergio Castellito, he's got a fun role in it as well, as does Lucian Massamati, I think is his name. He plays a guy called... He's another cardinal, basically, but called Joshua, and he's got an interesting... dynamic within the group there, and you've also got Carlos Diaz, who plays a cardinal named Vincent, who kind of comes into this story, and he's got this air of secrecy around him. People don't really know him. The others have met at one time or another, but this character comes in, and that you almost think, oh, is he even appointed as a religious figure, has he got authority here? Should he even be here? And then actually you find out he's got reasons for being kind of kept quiet, because I think he's serving, is it in Afghanistan, I want to say? I think that's where the character, he's a Christian preacher, but in a very war-torn, unsafe place, basically. And as the film goes on, he kind of delivers wisdom, and it's interesting to see where it goes. But the whole film's about appointing a new pope, and everyone has got kind of skeletons in the closet, so to speak. They've all got suspicions about each other. Some of them are really power hungry. Some of them are acting very humble outwardly, but actually they secretly really want to be pope themselves. Then you've also got Ralph Fiennes' character as just... as a personal struggle, is having issues with his own faith. He was very close to the Pope before, but now that he's passed away, he feels a bit lost, and he's a bit like, well, I was going to resign, but now I've got to lock in and do this for the next however many days. And it's a very interesting process. And I think being locked in the Vatican City, beautifully shot. It's absolutely stunning, some of the scenes in here and the locations. Considering it's almost quite stagey, as I said, because it is so dialogue heavy and driven. Yeah, it is good. It gives you a lot to chew on, and it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Sometimes you do want to just dive into a film that's got a small cast. It's very knotty and tight and well made, with everyone giving 110%, but it does have a twist of sorts, but I don't think it's enough to make it really stick with me. And it feels almost like a film that would be like, oh yeah, if that won, Best Picture, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I'd be surprised if it's not nominated in the top 10, for Best Picture this year. I think it's got that sort of that feel to it, and I think most people have received it very well. It's got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.4 on IMDb, 79% on Metacritic, but I do think it's missing maybe a bit of grit. I don't think I needed a twist that was anything outlandish or mind-blowing.
Does it get sinister? That's what because from the trailers I feel like religion is sinister anyway, especially like, no offense to any Catholics out there, but like the like luxurious nature of like Catholicism is like quite embedded in like horror almost. It's almost got like thrilleriness to it, and from the trailer I give that vibe, but from what you've said it seems like it's maybe missing a bit of sinisterness, or a bit of just a little bit of shock value, or something a bit deeper maybe.
Yeah, because when I put my my Letterboxd review on my story, I had a couple people respond saying, is this a horror film then or what? And I said, no, not at all.
The trailer gives that vibe though, in my opinion. Not maybe horror is the wrong word, but sort of definitely sinister and thriller almost, and like I feel like something's evil is gonna happen. There's some kind of underlying evil plot.
I mean, the thing is, it spends all its time in the Vatican City, right? So these cardinals are not allowed to go on their phones. They're not allowed to have any contact with the outside world. They're totally locked in. Like blinds come down over the windows and such. It's properly, very, very secretive, very important, and the music is booming and rattling your seat basically, and it feels very grand, very epic, very important, and exciting because of that. But I'd be lying if I said for the first half particularly I wasn't a little bit sleepy. I was, it's lovely to look at, but it's very quiet. It's aside from the score, it's a lot of people whispering in hallways and running around, and it is interesting, but I think it won't work for a lot of people. I wouldn't recommend this to everyone, because I know if you're not into listening to long expanses of dialogue, then this will be difficult, I think, to get through, because there isn't, as you say, it's not really a thriller. I guess it's a political thriller maybe, but it's more just a drama, and it's just interesting to see these different people clash. But I think that's not necessarily enough to sustain everyone's interests for the full sort of 2 hours. I enjoyed it, but it took me a while to properly get into it, I think, and seeing it in an evening screening, having not had a coffee, and I think after a day of being out in fresh air, it was quite a bit too... It was a big ask, I think, but I still kind of rose to the occasion. It was a bit like Banshees of Inisherin in some ways, just by the fact that it is so character driven and talky. Bit like this review, but
podcast.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It is worth a watch, but I think you'd enjoy it. But I can't sit here and say go out and see it. You could wait and see it on streaming, and you probably get exactly the same vibe from it. And that does kind of break my heart, because it's like it's got some solid actors in it, and it should have a cinematic release, because I think had I seen maybe All Quiet on the Western Front in the cinema, it would have had more impact. I think it lost a lot of excitement for me, because I just sort of threw it on at 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning on my TV, watched it alone with no snacks, just probably a cup of tea. It's like, it's not the cinema experience.
It doesn't have the impact.
Whereas I think if you'd switched it around, given Conclave the streaming release, which I think it probably kind of could have. Yeah, it's an interesting one. it's hard to review because there's nothing I can particularly point to and say that doesn't work or that's badly done. It's exactly what it wants to be.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really delivers anything massively new.
I like the comparison to Banshees. I think that's quite good, just in the way that it's small cast, quiet, and it just happens, I guess. There's no big grandeur sort of ending or anything, I guess. It just kind of, it is what it is, and you go in expecting this and you're like, yeah, that's what it was, kind of thing. But don't get me wrong, I am excited to watch it because I think the trailers looked excellent. And luckily I think your review might have made me go, okay, it's not going to reinvent the wheel, so just go in with like mediated expectations and it could be good.
I think the trailers are really good, and I don't mean that in a way of discrediting the film. I think the people that cut the trailers have done a great job in terms of capturing what the film is and actually selling the film, because a lot of the times you get sort of gaslit into thinking, oh, this is going to be great, or this looks rubbish, and then you get a film that's not anything like the trailer. But actually you watch the trailer, if you like that and you're like, this is interesting, I'm leaning into this, I'm looking forward to see where this goes, then this is the film, this is the whole version of that.
So I'm gonna chew your ear off for a little 5-10 minutes about the newest Disney Plus Star Wars entry. Adam hasn't watched this yet, so I will not spoil, and it's difficult to spoil really because not much has happened yet. We've had 2 episodes, it's a 2-episode premiere, but before I get into it, what do you know about this, Adam? There hasn't been much marketing really.
Do you know what? I really thought they were trying to bury this show for a while, because I'm sure this was announced back when they announced WandaVision. Like, it's been kicking around for a while.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Like original slate, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of been in the works for a while. I know that obviously you've got Jude Law in there, who I'm a big fan of. I think he gives me the same sort of energy as Orlando Bloom. I'm not sure why that is, because they're very different actors.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wouldn't have said that at all. I would have said he gives off very fine energy.
Yeah, actually I'd say that. He's Ray Fiennes mixed with Orlando Bloom, but I don't know where I'm getting Orlando Bloom from. I think maybe it's just because Jude Law. I don't know. Do they look similar? Not really.
No,
I don't know.
I think he looks a bit like Ray Fiennes.
Maybe.
That might just be because you reviewed Conclave.
But on the whole, I do like Jude Law quite a bit, so I'm excited that he's in Star Wars. I don't know if there's any other members of the cast that I need to know. I just know that it's a colourful, wacky bunch of Star Wars aliens.
So this is definitely been marketed as aimed at kids. And I think that's fairly true to say, watching the first 2 episodes. But it is... Have you seen The Goonies, Adam?
In bits, yeah.
That's a no, then.
Damn.
For people at home, I imagine you've seen The Goonies. And it is like Goonies crossed with Star Wars. And I was blown away by the first 2 episodes. I went into this, right? I wasn't going to watch it. I was literally not bothered about it. I was, whatever, yeah, another one of those Star Wars things. It's going to be shit, like a lot of recent Star Wars has been, or a bit of a letdown. And I was at my... so I was at home, so I was with... Lenny was there, and we were sat on the sofa. I was like, should we watch it? Put it on. And we sat there, eyes glued to the screen for the 1.5 hours with the 2 episodes. I think it was excellent, and the Star Wars fandom seems to agree. For the first time in a long time, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, on the Star Wars fan pages and on the official Star Wars, and the comments are almost all positive, which is so nice to see. A fandom that is horrible, frankly. The Star Wars fandom is horrible. And it's probably the worst thing about Star Wars is the fans. But no, everyone is singing the first, albeit it's the first 2 episodes, but they are singing praises, and yeah, I am too. I won't spoil it because I think Adam is going to watch it, obviously, but the first episode starts with introduction to almost like a suburban town, suburban American little village kind of thing, and it follows Wim, who is a young guy. His dad is a bit distant, so he's sort of getting into a bit of trouble, that kind of thing. He's also got his best mate at school called Neil, who is the blue elephant Max Rebo looking thing, which seems to mostly be a practical costume as well, which is awesome. And they basically meet a few friends, get into some mischief, and yeah, by the end of the first episode, they have basically started an adventure, and it's about an hour long, and they are off on this little Star Wars adventure basically. And Nick Frost is in there as well. He's got voicing a droid, which is awesome. The droid is called SM33, so Smee. Obviously pirates, and yeah, I just think it's really good. It's charming. It's got loads of energy. It feels like the most Star Wars, like classical Star Wars. It feels like Return of the Jedi. It's got loads of puppets, loads of aliens, more aliens than humans. Just fun, like little space romp. Clearly, this is not going to have any big connections to The Mandalorian or anything like that, which is good in my opinion. This is like an original story, with very little links to previous Star Wars stuff, which is what we need. And I think it hopefully carries on knocking the ball out the park and shows Disney that they don't have to rely on cheap cameos and connecting everything to stuff that's already happened. They can do individual little stories and have an excellent time. Really good, mate. Highly recommend. Could not recommend this. This is the most I've enjoyed Star Wars since probably Mando season 2.
Damn, okay, nice.
And that's only the first 2 episodes, like I've said, but yeah, it's excellent, really good.
Oh, that makes me very happy to hear, because like you, I don't really look into this film all that much. I just kind of presumed, because the trailer took ages to come out. That came out only like a month and a half ago, didn't it? It was very last minute in the grand scheme of things anyway. And I watched it, looked cool, but I haven't rushed to see it. I've been doing overtime, and I've been spending time with the people I love, you know. So that implies that you haven't, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm so happy that it's got that kind of childlike wonderment that I think The Mandalorian does have. I think season 3 it dwindled a bit, but yeah, I'm very excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu film, so I think it will sort of pick up again. But I'm excited to set aside maybe some time tonight just to dive into it, have some snacks, and
yeah, absolutely,
just enjoy being in the world of Star Wars, because I think it should be such an easy thing to make a space opera adventure fun and engaging. Like it serves there. It's all you need to do is just give us a character.
Anything you could
do anything, yeah,
anything,
surely.
Yeah. But they just haven't, and I think this is the first time in a while they've gone. The first time since Mando, I'd say, because Mando was like wow, this is a completely separate thing, and it isn't now. But that first season of Mando was like, wow, this is completely unconnected. This is its own thing, its own story, and this is exactly how this feels. It's its own thing. Ironically, the only reason I watched it was because I was looking after Lenny. So I spent the evening back home, and that is the only reason I watched it. I wouldn't have put it on if I didn't have that explicit "can you babysit for me" kind of thing, and switched it on, and me and Lenny were sat there chatting. And I think it's going to be a space version of Treasure Planet or Treasure Island. You'll see when you're watching it, and I mean, if you know the story of Treasure Island, I think you'll get what I'm saying. But there's clearly like a character who is shown at the beginning who is clearly Jude Law, and it's very obvious. You can hear his voice the same way you could hear Jeff Goldblum's voice at the beginning of Wicked, and clearly he's gonna betray them down the line, I imagine, and it's gonna be I can see it now. I'm calling it. I think it's gonna be a remake of Treasure Island, but in space. It's super piratey. Yeah, it's really good, mate. Yeah, excellent. Really enjoyed it, and I thought the new episode out was today, but it's out tomorrow, so I cannot wait to watch it tomorrow morning.
Oh, you probably convinced me. I'm very excited. Is it directed by John Watts as well? Did I read that somewhere?
So it's a few different ones. I think the first two are by John Watts. Bryce Dallas Howard's doing one. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, that was something else that made me think it is related to Treasure Island as well, because the main character is Wim, which is obviously Jim, as in Jim Hawkins, and then the guy at the beginning is called Silvo, which is, I presume, Long John Silver, and then Jude Law's character is called Jod, which is John Silver, right? It seems like it's a straight off rip off of Treasure Island, Treasure Planet kind of thing. But if it's a good story, I'm well up for. Yeah. So we've got John Watts.
I think it's scored as well by Mick Giacchino, is that Mike?
Yeah, it's his
son. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's his son. Yeah.
When's it set?
Same time as Mando. Yeah.
Okay, so after Return of the Jedi, but
before... after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. So John Watts did the first two. David Lowery did 2 episodes. I think he did that film with Dev Patel. Bryce Dallas Howard's done an episode. There's a couple of others. There you go. The director of Twisters. He's directed one of the episodes.
Oh, brilliant!
Like, all the people have got a bit of a claim to fame kind of thing, basically. So I'm really excited, man. Oh, that's it. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once. They directed about 4 of the episodes as well.
Oh, the Daniels.
The 2 guys.
Nice.
Yeah. That's it. I knew there was someone else big. Yeah, they've directed a couple of episodes.
That's so nice. It's like they've given this. They're like, let's just do a simple story with fun characters and a good cast, but let's just give directors a time to play around in the sandbox that is Star Wars and deliver us a fun little adventure of the week. You know, maybe give us maybe a small cameo to a race of alien we might know, but keep it at that.
Yeah, that is what it was. It was really like that. They had like the only reference so far is a reference to the Star Wars Christmas special, which notoriously is awful. There's a reference to that, and there is also a reference to the Ewok TV show, the Caravan of Courage. There's like an 80s TV show with Ewoks in, and there's a reference to that as well. So like, so far there has been no like gratuitous cameos, and I'm sure there'll be one down the road, which I'm fine with. But yeah, and you're gonna love the little blue alien guy. He is so cute, and he's gonna give Baby Yoda a run for his money, let me tell you.
My goodness. The
first time you meet him, mate, I can't wait for you to watch it, because you meet him in the first 15 minutes and what they do is awesome. It's so cute, it's so childish, but it's absolutely great. So great.
Oh, I'm grinning just listening to the review, I've got to say. I'm very happy that it's hit the mark, and it seems like such a low bar, but I mean, just to make the Star Wars fandom agree with each other is hard enough. So fair play, Lucasfilm, and you know, keep more of this stuff coming, because I do. There is part of me that's like, I do quite like when Star Wars isn't so complicated. I think Andor was great, but if I'm honest, I got a little bit lost in it, and I don't think I like it as much as other people. The Mandalorian, I really like the first 2 seasons. again, season 3 has some excellent standalone stuff, but when they have like the mind wiping and the like the cloning, it's like I don't enjoy that stuff as much. I like A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, where it's just a group of mates, that are well out of their depth and just like going through this crazy adventure, and you're like, you guys don't stand a chance, and yet you somehow pull it off. And I think the Star Wars kind of started out, and I think George Lucas would even say this, that's the whole point Jar Jar's in it, is because it's for kids, right? And I think
yes, it is for kids. Yes.
Why not? Like, it feels weird that we have to clarify, this is a Star Wars show, but it's aimed at kids. Like, we've got to add that caveat to it. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of the default, isn't it? But
yeah,
there we are.
I imagine you'll like this, because how you described those original trilogy is exactly what this is. It's a bunch of mates who get in trouble and out of their depth and shouldn't survive. So, yeah, definitely switch in, mate. I'm really excited where it's going to go, let me tell you.
And having Jude Law involved as well is always a sort of, he's a reliable pair of hands, I think. Even in Captain Marvel, I enjoyed him in that.
Yeah, it's a bit of prestige almost, isn't it? Like, he's the only named actor, really. All the rest are, I guess, Nick Frost, but he's not physically in it. But all the kid actors are new, I think. They're not in anything. So, yeah, he's like the fullback, I guess, isn't he? So
yeah. You said about Treasure Island as well. There's a Muppets version of that, isn't there? Or unless it is already a Muppets film, I'm not sure. But I like that. I can imagine if there's loads of puppetry for the aliens, it's got that childlike energy, and it's a take on Treasure Island. It basically is Star Wars in a Muppets world. So in a way, and hear me out here, is this
a Jim Henson production?
Is this a less festive Star Wars version of A Muppet's Christmas Carol? Except you've got Jude Law instead of Michael Caine. I think it is.
Imagine Michael Caine showed up. In the second episode, they go to a spaceport where there is only puppets. It is only Muppets and puppets. And I can imagine Michael Caine showing up there, let me tell you. Yeah. Michael, how have you been?
Hello, Alfie. I've been pushing my agenda, my political agendas on the Twitters.
Yeah, I saw you say some things about voting for Brexit. Quite a shock, if I'm honest.
It wasn't a shock to me because I've always had those beliefs. But it's only you because you're not inside my head. Because you see, Alfie, what you can't see is my thoughts until I write them out.
Like in your book?
Like in my book. Except Twitter. Twitter is like a book, except it never gets published anywhere. So I could just sort of write all my draft copies and put them there.
And then there's no consequence. Yeah, you're so right with that. No consequence at all. Where have you been? Have you been anywhere nice in the past couple of weeks?
It's funny you ask me, Alfred, because I've just got back from the Mos Eisley Spaceport in Star Wars.
To be honest,
I'll tell you, it was absolutely bloody lovely.
You never strike me as a Star Wars kind of guy, if I'm honest, Michael. You always seem a bit more mature, maybe a bit more renowned. But are you a fan of the Star Warses?
Listen, Alfie, as I've always said, that Star Wars is the highest form of art. A lot of people say that those original trilogy films are aimed at kids, but I say you're wrong, because what I like from doing A Muppet's Christmas Carol is that they're all aimed at adults, with kids that were once them, but now they're grown up and you can't see them anymore, but they're still inside of them. And there's a lovely bit of sentiment in that if you're just willing to follow that train of thought through.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Speaking of Michael Caine, we are going to see The Muppets Christmas Carol in concert this weekend. So I'm very excited about that. Me and Adam are going to see that. And that should be fun. What was I going to say? That was it. we were talking about Star Wars, right? I know we've changed subject, but I need to bring it back to this because I think we got rid of our news section, and this would be a peak in our news section if we still did it, right? The Bear Star, Jeremy Allen White, has been cast as Rota the Hutt, Jabba's little tiny stinky son from the animated film in The Mandalorian and Grogu. And there was an addition to this announcement in that apparently he's going to be buff in it.
What?
He's going to be a buff. He's going to be a muscly hench Hutt, which is phenomenal.
I didn't hear that second part of the rumour. Okay, a lot to unpack there. I don't really know what to say. Jeremy Allen White,
to mention it.
He's an actor that could do no wrong. I think he's very good. He's brilliant in The Iron Claw. Did you see that in the end?
Yes, yeah.
Iron Claw is very good, but why is he playing that role?
It's crazy, isn't it? I saw someone tweet today saying that's the kind of rumour that I would tell someone if I was trying to find out who was leaking my information, so you can really easily trace it back. And honestly, I think that might be what it is. I think it might be what's his name? The bloke who directs Mando. Jon Favreau or
yeah.
Dave Filoni, going, someone's leaking all our information, and then they've gone around and told each person a different thing, and then now they're going to know who's spilling all the tea.
That's so funny.
How the fuck is he playing Rota the Hutt, a 40-year-old Hutt who's going to be muscly and attractive, apparently? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. Did the rumour say he was going to be attractive, or did you just say muscly, Alfie? Have you interjected?
It said buff, and by buff, what more does that mean other than handsome and muscly? Like,
but it is still a slug, so I don't know if he'll be handsome.
He's gonna have abs.
Absolutely wild. Do you know what? Speaking of slug characters, let's talk about Moana 2, and that makes sense if you ever see it. There are so many slugs in this film. I don't know where or why or who decided this, but there's so many slugs. Like, integral to the plot as well. And I'm like, I don't remember.
What are you on about, mate?
There's so many slugs in Moana 2, like slug characters and weird blobfish things. And I was watching it like, did I take something? Was there something in this Oreo? Like, what's going on?
There's something in my Terry's chocolate orange hot chocolate.
Yeah. How did you know I had that? Is that just a
Is that what you had?
That's what I had, yeah. That's crazy.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, bro.
It felt like it would complement the tropicalness of Moana quite well. But Moana is a film that came out in 2016, which is already 8 years old, which is just mental. I don't know how it's been that long. I didn't see Moana in the cinema, but I fell in love with the soundtrack, as did most guys my age for some reason. It's like the one Disney film we all gravitated to in my school. I don't know why, but it just happened.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But I'm a big fan of the original film. I think it's got some great moments, some beautiful, beautiful animation, and a very decent cast. But I love what's the song? Where You Are, I think, is the opening track where they're going through the island and you meet Moana's family and stuff. That's a brilliant song. The rap that Dwayne Johnson does, You're Welcome, that's great. And of course, the kind of main one that Moana sings is really heartfelt and powerful as well. What's it called? Is it How Far I'll Go? Is that the name of the title? Something like that. Point is, banging soundtrack, great visuals, great cast, funny, heartfelt. I would say top tier Disney. I think it's one of the best certainly modern Disney films, but certainly, for me at least, one of the best Disney animations there is. I believe
feels like this is going to be followed by a big. But Moana 2 is none of those things.
Moana 2 is in existence because I think Moana did respectfully well at the box office, but it's been for several years running the most watched film on Disney Plus. I think I'm right in saying that. Or
every year, I think. Yeah, like non-stop.
So it's obviously like a bit of a babysitter film, right? Which, to be fair, those babies have great taste, as do the babysitters. But Moana 2, but it is such a mixed bag. It is such a Marmite movie in regards to the fact that some people have loved it, some people have hated it, and then there's me who was like, I was pleasantly surprised with it because I went in with not high hopes, and I really loved some parts and I really didn't like other bits. I think it takes a huge hit by not having Lin-Manuel Miranda involved. The songs in this, just at best, they are weaker counterparts to the songs in the first film. There's one song that Moana sings at the same point in the film that's meant to be How Far I'll Go, except like a slight melody change and a slight lyric change. And you're like, why would you even attempt to try and recreate that? Because you know it's
why
not
wouldn't
gonna
they
be as
just
good.
like reprise it and do the same song?
Exactly.
I think it's probably more respectable. Yeah,
exactly. And then at worst, the songs are just absolute crap. The one that Dwayne Johnson's given in this film, my god, it's really bad. The main rhyming scheme in the chorus is "Come on, Moana," like that, and it's like a chant. It's really bad. And then he does a rap, and it's not as good, just nowhere near as good. And my goodness, yeah, the music can be really, really shoddy. So there's that. I think the soundtrack needed to be good, I think, to carry this. And I'd actually say that Wish, even though that film is deeply flawed, I actually think there's better songs in Wish. I think the main song that's in that film is better than any of the songs in here, easily. And it stayed with me. Like, I saw it last night. I went to work for 8 hours. You'd be like, all right, that's a lot of time to hum stuff in my head. I had nothing but Wicked and the soundtrack for We Live in Time. I had not even once could I even remember anything from Moana 2, from the soundtrack. And that's a damning review, frankly.
Yeah.
So
Disney films are musicals. Like,
yeah.
How the hell, yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to be pushing the boundaries. Like, Encanto did it. You know, you've done it in recent memory. It's not like you've lost it since 2016. But I think this year we've had a lot of lackluster sequels. Kung Fu Panda 4, Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2 the exception. But I think The Wild Robot is just like... I don't think it rivals Inside Out 2. I think it's on the same level, actually. But, man, if you want to see a really good, like, striking... really heartwarming and sad animation that's for the whole family, go and see The Wild Robot or watch Inside Out 2 because it's already on Disney Plus. Both of those are way, 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 way better than this. Moana 2 feels like one of those late 1990s or early 2000s direct-to-DVD sequels that Disney did. Like, you know, there was Lion King, like there was a sequel and there's a prequel. And it was meant to be the Disney Plus show.
Yeah, it's meant to be a Disney Plus show, right? 6 episodes or something, which they changed last minute.
I know some people have said you can see where the episodes end, and I was trying to split it up into chunks, and you kind of can if you put like a song in each episode and do it roughly like that. But even then, I'm like, I think maybe there'd be 1 or 2 good episodes in this series. I think the rest is either set up or meaningless time wasting. Like, they go and see the Kokomora, which are those coconut, is that what they're called? Something like that. The coconut little creatures from the first film, and that's fun to see them return. But I'm like, you've already done this, why are we here again? And it's like the same sort of jokes. And you've got Moana's obviously got a bigger, more important mission to go on this time, and it's again linked to her ancestors, and she needs to go out and connect all the people of the ocean, which I think it feels like a natural progression for her character and for the films. That in itself is not an issue, but to do it in such a kind of safe and uninspiring way, I think is really a shame. It feels quite lazy. And although I came out of the film, I had a good time watching it. It was I was awake with it. I never felt bored by it or anything, and I don't think there's anything in it that's particularly offensive or really, really bad, apart from the songs. I think some of the songs are quite shocking, but it's like plot-wise, it works well enough, but it really does feel like DLC that you can take it or leave it. And it's such a shame that a sequel to one of, I think, genuinely one of my favourite Disney films is quite so safe and uninspired. It's really a shame. And it's almost like it's been cut up into bits, but not like it was a series. It's like it's half baked in the way that there's a character in this who I don't think was in the trailers at all. I don't even think, like, she's not even high up on the cast list, which is weird. She's not got a massive role, but she's called Matangi, who is the sort of second in command for the villain in the film, and she's voiced by Awime Fraser. I could be saying that wrong, but she's an excellent character. She's got a good song compared to the others. Brilliant character design. Like, I'm talking fluid movements, just bursting with energy, kind of like Bruno was in Encanto. Like, when that character comes into play, you're like, oh, it's got a new, fresh, breath of air in this movie. This is really ramped up a bit, and you're like, yes, great, she sings her number, and then she leaves and she doesn't come back. You're like, why on earth have you thrown away that character that was compelling, actually had something to do, and instead you've got this trio of islanders that goes on this adventure with Moana. You've got Moni or Money, Tala, and you've got Kele. So Kele's an old guy who is a farmer and gets seasick, and he's just grouchy all the time. Moni is, or Monet, however you say his name, he is addicted and like in love with Maui, who's Dwayne Johnson's character. Like, he's a storyteller. He loves hearing about Moana's adventures, and he's always making tapestries and paintings and making references. And at one point, I think there's a fourth wall break, not necessarily from his character, I don't think, but there's a literal wink at the audience, and you're like, why is Disney doing this? This seems this seems canonically and conceptually, contextually
just
weird.
In the wrong film. Yeah.
That's it. It's, what's the line? Dwayne Johnson's character Maui goes, someone calls Moana a princess, and then Maui calls Moana a princess, that's it. And she goes, yep, still not technically a princess. And then Maui goes, well, a lot of people seem to think you are. And then literally the film grinds to a halt, and one of his tattoos looks at the screen and like just goes like a kind of face. And you're like,
weird. Yeah.
What? Why have you kept that in? Because it's like, it's funny, I guess, but it's like, that doesn't seem like something a Disney film would do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt weird in the moment, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Oh no, sorry, I might have got the names wrong there. Loto is one of the people that goes with her on the adventure. I don't know who Tala is then, but again, I mean, the fact that I don't remember these names is telling. I think Tala might be the little sister, but maybe that's not right. No, I don't know. But one of the sidekicks on the boat is good, and I think that's Loto. She's very smart, full of energy. Again, the characters that actually are fun and exciting, lo and behold, are fun and exciting to watch. Like, I don't know why you're giving me this old guy on a boat that doesn't even want to be there. And like, yeah, sure, he goes on his character arc, and he's like, oh, actually, I do like the sea at the end. But it's like, well, I don't really like Moana's whole thing is that she's a seafarer and she's a wayfinder. It's like, give me someone that wants to be there, because everyone in the audience wants to be there with her. Why are you wasting my time with a silly subplot about someone who doesn't want to be there? It kind of is just irritating. And you've got like Alan Tudyk voicing Hey Hey, the little chicken, and you've got Pua the pig is back again. And I'm like, they have some funny slapstick moments, but it's also like, why have we got those two, 3 other people, plus Maui and Moana, and then the villains and the sidekicks and the Kokomora, and it's like, it's over bloated, too many characters going on, and a runtime that's only an hour and 40. And then the villain of the thing is a god who is just a blatant copy and paste really of the villain in the first film with that like fire island. In this one, it's an electric storm. It's like, okay, we'll just change the natural hazard and change the colour.
It just seems like they've taken the same plot and just flipped a load of ideas on the head kind of thing. And
and that really is all it is. It's kind of like a revamp or like a re-edit of the first film that in every way isn't as good. And that sounds really damning, and it is. I don't think it's a good sequel. Is it a bad film? No. But when you're following up one of the best Disney films, you've got to do better than this. And I think, again, like Encanto is better, and Wish, honestly, is probably better, I'd say, or as good, which is kind of, take from that what you will. But man, I wasn't excited to really go and see it. I had a decent time, I went with, with good company, and I had a good time, no issues, had a lovely hot drink. But I can't help but be like, really?
The fact we've spoken about the Terry's hot chocolate about twice in this review proves that the company and the beverage that you saw the film in was better than the film.
Totally. And I'll end with this as well. For some reason, Maui's character gets trapped in the inside of this huge mussel or like clam type thing, and it's massive. It's like the size of an island, and you see it in the poster, in the trailers. It's that big set of two jaws basically with loads of teeth and eyes going up the side of it. And for about 35 to 40 minutes they're trapped inside this location that is really gross. Like, there's loads of gross out humour there. There's like sludge and slime being thrown on characters and being shot at people. B, it's really cramped and it's not very interesting to look at. And C, it's like, okay, well, C, pun intended, why are we not actually in the sea? Why are we inside this weird animal? Right? Like, you've got fantastic animation that is absolutely gorgeous. I could watch an hour of like waves lapping against the shore and I'd buy the ticket. Like, Disney can do it, and it does look phenomenal. The animation's incredible in this film, and I think it looked great in Moana, so it's even better here. But it's like, why are you taking, and I know she's not a princess, but why are you putting a Disney princess character in such a rubbish location? Like, it's like, why? What animators are absolutely itching to do this? I don't think they would be. It's like, no, you want to be animating the ship, like riding waves and going through magical, beautiful locations. Instead, we're in the belly of this sea monster, and you're like, okay, why? It just feels tonally off, and it's like, I can't imagine little girls being as excited to watch this if they know that Moana and her friends have to be trapped inside this horrible, cold, dark, slimy location. It's like, who's this appealing to? Do you know what I mean? And then add into the fact that the songs aren't good. It just doesn't mix.
All of that considered, though, this film's made a shit ton of money, and there's a live action remake coming out. So I think Disney are raking in the pounds, which is insane for a film that sounds like trash. I think it's made a lot of money. Still is making money. And then we've got that, if the kids don't want to watch Maui and Moana be stuck inside a big sticky clam, they can tune into the live action remake that's coming out next year.
I think that's almost a bad omen in itself. The second they announced that they're doing a live action remake, and I know I said at the top of the review, God, how has it been 8 years? But it's like, it's only 8 years. Come on, we do not need a live action remake of Moana. It's absolutely fine. Hear me out, and maybe this is divisive. Maybe I'm the only person in the world that thinks this, but I know I'm not. I actually like watching animation. Sometimes I watch a film because it's animated. I know, shock horror.
Yeah.
I don't want to really go and see How to Train Your Dragon in live action. Don't get me started on that. I don't want to go and see Moana in live action. I've seen Moana in animation, and it's fun and it's lively, and you could do stuff with animation that you can't do with the live action.
Yes, that you can't do in person.
Yeah, you can put
spot on there, mate.
You can put CGI in, but they won't be as expressive unless And at a point, it's like, well, if everything bar the main characters is CGI, is this even a live action remake? It's just a different form of animation. I cannot stand, and I think Moana at the moment for me is the centre of this whole live action remake debacle. But I cannot stand these live action remakes, mate. They have to stop.
Yeah, well, we've got Mufasa coming out next weekend, which I hope that film flops so hard, because it looks like absolute tripe. It is the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. And the plot, the first time I saw the trailer for it was sitting in the cinema for Wicked, right? Got the trailer for Mufasa. It looks shit. Just the plot alone, it doesn't look engaging. Yeah, these live actions need to stop. The Stitch one's coming out next year. I don't want it. I was fine with the idea, and over time I've simmered on it, and I don't want it. We've got the Hercules one coming out, and people are now saying it should be Paul Mescal and Ariana Grande because of their recent stuff as Hercules and Meg. Nope, don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want these shitty live action remake. They were fun at first. You know what I mean? Like Maleficent, the Sleeping Beauty one they did, where it was a bit different. Yeah, fine, whatever. The Aladdin, right? Aladdin was good. I've had enough of it now. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore.
I think we've got to just start voting with our wallets. Like, I didn't see The Little Mermaid. I was going to, but I ran out of time. But actually, I'm glad I didn't, because it's like, yeah, I kind of... It's almost irrelevant, and I know this is a stubborn opinion to have, but it's actually irrelevant to me whether or not the film is good. I just think conceptually, we're on this planet for a finite amount of time, and you're really saying, okay, I'm just going to have to watch the same films again, but slightly reskinned. I want to be treated to something new and exciting. And then you've got things like, people saying, oh, but Pixar over there making bold new films. I'm like, yeah, occasionally. I think Soul was phenomenal. I think Luca was excellent. Really, really have a soft spot for Luca. What was there another film sort of throughout lockdown? I can't remember. I think Pixar, though, on the whole, again, Inside Out 2, there we go, recent one. Excellent, absolutely brilliant. I thought that was better than the original. And then you've got people saying, yeah, but look at Elio, which I think is coming out next year. That was meant to come out this month, I think, or last month, and it just got buried, and like no one talked about it because it doesn't look or sound that good. I'm ready to be excited and to be surprised by it, but conceptually and the trailer has not sold me. Same goes for that beaver mind swap one.
The beaver one, yeah, literally the beaver one. What else is there? There's another one. Oh, and then we've got Toy Story
5. Yeah,
5.
It's like Pixar, I think, is on the whole better than Disney animation at the moment. I don't think that's too much of a stretch to say. But even Pixar, I think can be 50-50. So,
yeah, and I mean, with some of the stuff they've got coming, like Toy Story 5, I just feel like they're all so creatively void now. They're just churning out the same. I mean, that's a conversation for a different day, isn't it? But it's the industry is just churning out the same stuff, just re-skinned, like you just said. It's
yeah. I can't stand it. I think that's such a trend though in society now. I'll make this my final point, but like, look at Fortnite, right? It's the same game, and it has been for 6-7 years, however old that game is. All that's changed that you can do is the maps changed, like the look. Some of the items, I guess, have changed, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're still just hitting the right trigger to damage other people. And then the look of the character that you're playing as has no impact whatsoever on your gameplay, right? It's just literally aesthetics. And that's all it is. And I described that podcast that we spoke about as veneer. That's literally what it is. Like content has become veneer, and it's a facade of like, oh, this is new, and you're like, actually no, strip it back like 1 or 2 layers. It's like, that's the exact same thing we got 10 years ago. And there we go, thank you. That's my review of Moana 2.
If you'd like to email in and tell us about what you hate in the film industry, you can do so by popping us a message through Gmail or something. Our email is hello@movieonup.com.
You can also get in touch with the show via Instagram and TikTok. Our handles are @movieonup. There we are.
Lovely.
I'm sorry I went on a bit of a rant there, but
No, I think it was needed. I think it was good.
Moana 2 needed to be taken down a peg.
I genuinely agree with you, though. I don't think we should review Mufasa. I think we should boycott it.
Yeah. Do you know what else comes out that week?
It's so trite.
Do you know what else comes
Go
out?
on.
Sonic 3. That's what I'm going to be seeing.
Yeah, you vote with your wallet.
I'm doing
people.
a shit ton of overtime over Christmas. I don't have time to see both of those, I'm afraid. Not for 1 week's podcast. Maybe I'll catch Mufasa if I need to, 2-3 weeks later. But I'm not rushing to see it. Sonic 3's got my priority. I'll be reviewing that on the podcast. Sorry if you're waiting for my Mufasa thoughts.
I hope it flops so bad. What are we reviewing for next week? I presume Craven.
Yeah, I guess. Let me check. Is there anything else?
I'll turn out just to see Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Yeah. As long as his sleeves get ripped at one point.
Yeah, as long as he's got no shirt on. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Oh, does Queer come out this week? I think it does. Are you going to see that?
Yeah, Queer. Oh yeah, because it's Craven the Queer, isn't it? Yeah, people made that joke. Yes, I will go catch Craven, and I will catch Queer.
I'm very interested to see what you think of Queer. Go and listen to my review of that. It was one of the London Film Festival episodes we put out. Part 1, I think it was. And then you've got The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, that animation. So I think I might try and see Craven and potentially the Lord of the Rings film. But yeah, as I say, Christmas overtime has got me in a chokehold. So do bear with us. We're trying our best here. We produce, edit, record all of this on our own.
And work jobs and live life.
We're just men. We're just mortal men.
We're just mortal men. If you catch any of these films, like Mufasa, we should send Josh Brooker.
Yes, Josh Brooker, friend of the show, if you're listening.
Josh, yeah.
Do you want a job?
Go watch Mufasa for us.
It's unpaid, but you get exposure.
Yeah, go listen, go watch some films, and then email in your thoughts. Thank you for listening to this episode today. Covering Conclave, Moana 2, and Skeleton Crew. Adam's going to go and watch Skeleton Crew now, so enjoy that, mate.
Yes, I cannot wait.
In the words of Bruce Forsyth, if I don't see you through the week,
I'll see you through the window.